What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. Today we have the producer's letter for April 2020. This is the 38th producer's letter. Quite a bit to go over here, so we're just going to hop right into things so we don't make this too long. I will put the link to the Reddit post with this so you can look at it for yourself in the description, the comments, whatever. Either way, it'll be somewhere. But anyways, real quick, here is there was a Q&A that they did, so there's gonna be, some stuff down here that are just essentially questions that get answered by the devs. So, they talk about the UI system, management, about the characters, and other stuff, so there's that. And then the April 2020 event schedule, we'll go into more detail on stuff here, but basically, pretty much what we consider. Tales of Destiny Easter event will be the first event, coming with Mary and Kongman, which will be mid-April 2020, which will be actually a week from today. I think it's either the 14th or the 15th. I forget when the Symphony event exactly ends. But I know it says the 14th, but it's either the 14th at the end or it's the 13th at the end, whatever it is. So yeah, so basically the 14th or 15th will be when that happens. We have Fairy's Requiem Chapter 14, which will be with Richter and Marta's Overwrite in late April 2020, which will be the 25th, like it is every month, except when they don't do a chapter that month. And then we have our Tales of Brit. So it is a raid event, but Shigure is not a raid character. If you watched the preview that they put out, a couple days ago, you will see that he's just a regular character. He doesn't have the little, icon on the side that signifies that he's a boss character. He's not like Mythos or Barbados or anything like that. He's a regular character, but it is going to be a raid event. So it will not have a bunch of missions. It'll be one of those missions where... Actually, no. Lately, what they've been doing with raid events is they have a story, and then they do the raid after. So it'll probably be the same thing there. So it will be a farming event, which I guess is kind of nice. The nice thing about farming raid events is you get many more summon tickets than you normally get. In a regular event, you just get your 10 tickets if you're not wailing out. And that's it for the character. But on raid events, you get tickets not only for the new character, but you get tickets for the other 3 characters that are getting Mirage Arts as well. So that's kind of the silver lining there. The only downside is there's no exchange shop, so you can't get the materials you're specifically looking for. Okay, and now we'll go into the details for everything. So, let's go over the Q&A stuff. So, this is just going to be basic, question and answer stuff. So, we'll try and figure this out as we go. So, Battle UI, pause button hard to press, pausing during Mirage Arts. So, I guess what the question here is that because the pause icon in the top right-hand corner is so tiny, it's hard to kind of press it, and... I guess some people would like to be able to press it during a Mirage Art. It says, will be looked into, though pausing during Mirage Arts might not be possible. I don't really know why you'd need to pause during a Mirage Art. I don't really feel like that's necessary. Some people might disagree, but I just don't really see an importance for that. Sliders for event currency. Sliders. What does it mean by slide? That's not very specific, so I don't know what sliders means. Maybe they mean instead of having a bunch of different menus for the different event currency, or maybe they mean so you don't have to hold down the plus button, like maybe a sliding bar, so you can just choose where to stop when you're exchanging for stuff. Maybe that's what that. Otherwise, that's not a very specific question. Character sorting to be fixed in an upcoming update, such as title and alphabetical order. So that's pretty cool. So there's going to be better character sorting because we are getting to a lot of characters. So it is hard to kind of you're scrolling up and down. I mean, I feel like the sorting method right now is fine. Because you just filter by, I guess when they mean sorting is when you have all the characters shown, it'll just be sorted by game and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like filtering is fine for Rays. I don't think there's any issue with it. The only issue I still have is, if I'm working on a character, Like if I'm enhancing their stuff and I have a bunch of dupes I want to sell, I wish I could just sell it from the enhancement or the leveling up weapons tab instead of having to go to the sell tab, filter for the characters that I'm trying to sell for and that stuff. So that can be kind of annoying. Better enhancing, increase max capacity for each item. Max capacity for each item. What does that even mean? Max capacity. Well, whatever. Maybe they mean like the actual materials, like maybe be able to hold more. I don't know. As the game system originally started with 8 characters in mind, it certainly isn't optimized for 150 over characters. Major changes will be made to screen transitions and systems in the future. Details to be announced once ready. So they will work on enhancing when they have the process to. The only thing I really want to say about this is I want to be able to, if I go to enhancing, if I have all the materials for all 5 or all 6 enhances, just let me click one button and all 6 of them get done. I don't want to have to, you have like, you have many weapons and mirage arts for characters. You don't want to sit there going through each weapon one by one and having to click that enhance button 6 times per weapon. That's very time consuming. Here's one thing friend point usage and max capacity. Friend points are planned to be renewed in the future along with renewals to the system surrounding raising characters. The whole thing with friend points, it's just really annoying now because I'll spend all 50,000 friend points and within the next week, it'll be maxed out again and I'll have to empty it out again. It's just really tedious. Even if they did something as simple as it just does one pull with however many friend points you have and it just gets rid of that, that's fine. I don't want to sit there for 5-10 minutes doing friend point summons though every week. And what the renewals for the system surrounding raising characters. So maybe they're gonna work out. I mean, this doesn't sound like leveling, but it would be nice to kind of streamline maybe like 60 to 70. Because leveling up from there can be very hard, and I barely have any characters at 70. I probably have like 3 characters up there, and then everyone else is at most like 65. Okay, raising characters is tough. Can there be an all-purpose limit break item? That would be difficult to do. Even if such an item were to be implemented, getting a hold of it would be incredibly difficult and completely different to what you may think. As mentioned before, they'll review the system surrounding raising characters and will be considered should it be necessary. So, it sounded like somebody wanted, like, literally, like, you get a new character, you use this limit break item, they go immediately to 70 and whatever, but that seems a little overpowered. I just want them to, maybe add a new leveling crystal item. We have, like, the 300,000 XP one. Maybe if they add, like, a new step above that, and maybe they'll raise the level cap again from 70 to 80 at some point. But I would just like to be able to get more characters to 70. Because I don't think leveling a character max should be hard. It really shouldn't. Because, in most gacha games, it's like leveling characters, yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but the way Raze has it is a little ridiculous. I feel like if players put the work in, they should be able to have, all the characters they use at the max level. I mean, even getting to 60 back in the day wasn't incredibly tough. Like, it was hard, but not like it is for 70. This is very nice. Set helpers for each anima. To be done along with the friend point renewal, improvements for following follower specifications at the same time if possible. So it seems like what they may try to do is for every different anima, so you'll have like, a lot of gacha games have this where you have like 7 supports and people will just filter between whatever type of event they're doing to do that. So, you'd have your rainbow character, you'd have your red anima, you'd have your et cetera, et cetera. So that'd be nice to have more than one, because sometimes you have something where it's like, we have a story chapter going on, but we also have an event going on, so you don't know which character to set as your friend support. So that way, like, for this month, for example, if this update came with it, which it won't, but if it did, someone could set a Symphonia character for the story chapter, while also setting a Berseria character for the Berseria event. So that'd be kind of nice. Management. Don't overlap events. Having events overlap each other may be an issue when there's a lot of things you want to do, such as collabs. Rerun events may overlap by nature, but as for new events and such, they will be re-examined, so that's good. Because we did have a lot of stuff going on recently. Like when the Gintama event went on, we had like overlapping Spear Gear event. So that was pretty tough. Will there be series-only events for every series, particularly Innocence? As more characters from each series are being released, parties can be formed solely of a particular series. They hope to be able to do more this year as well. So they didn't address Innocent. I'm guessing that wasn't actually part of the question. Abyssman versus Sunscreen Rangers event. Great idea. Will do. Add Mirage Arts to High Prism Exchange. Mirage Gear Select tickets have been added to the High Prism Exchange during the 3rd anniversary. Will the lineup of High Prism Exchange be updated, particularly Mirage Arts Select ticket? It will, though how frequently is still being worked out. Raise the rates for... That's Mirage Gears or Mirage Arts? Oh, this is talking about the 5 stars. Okay. Rates for 3rd Mirage Gears will be higher than the 1st, but any more than that, well, the producer will try. Because that's the whole thing, is it's almost harder to get a 5-star than it is a Mirage Art. Because with a Mirage Art, it's a much more kind of diluted pool for weapons, but, 5 stars, if there's 3 5-stars per character, like, let's say we get an event where all characters on that event, other than the new character, have all their 5 stars on it. Like a story chapter, for example. If we had a story chapter that was Zestiria based, and you have like 5 characters on the banner who all have all 3 of their 5 stars, that's 15 5-stars you're trying to pull for. So that's a little crazy. For the most part, events aren't that bad. So like for the Berseria event, for example, Shigaray's only going to have 1 5-star because the 2nd and 3rd 5-stars will only come with seasonals or 2nd Mirage Arts. But you're going to have Rokuro with 3, you're going to have Magilu with 3, and you're going to have Eleanor with 3. So that's 10 5-stars on the banner. So if you're chasing one specific 5-star, it's going to be very hard to pull. Will there be more characters limited to the Turtle Shop? As they're somewhat difficult to obtain, they will see how it goes with the current 3 that are released and determine based on the rates at which they're obtained. Yeah, I mean, it's really for the whales because, I mean, you can... If you play enough, you can get the characters and get them geared up eventually. Like, for me, for example, I have Phoenix. Phoenix is the character I've bought, but I barely have anything for him. I think I bought his, 4-star weapons, and that was it. Because, obviously, you can only buy it with prisms, so getting the other stuff is pretty hard. Purchase seasonal costumes with prisms. Under consideration. Not enough gold for newbies. More balancing to be done. I feel like gold isn't that big of an issue, but I could see if you're just starting out how it could be a problem, because you have a lot to work on. About Tir na Nog characters, character birthdays. As with most other titles, birthdays aren't really established due to not following the Gregorian calendar, as it's not set on Earth. That being said, birthdays do technically exist, even for Ix and Melina. Okay. Who are the other character designers apart from Ray's, Inomato and Okumura? It hasn't been made public, but there are various other designers involved, including some who are closely related to the series. It'll be released if permission is given. Okay. So about Koga's taking a bath with his eye patch. Producers really can't say much about eye patch characters himself, but who knows? Maybe something will come up during a hot spring or swimsuit event. Considering Koga's just got a seasonal, I highly doubt that. I went on the teams each character belongs to, such as Keel Labs or Farah's Life Improvement Committee. There's quite a lot of them, but they'd like to reveal them all at some point. Some of these include Estelle's Book Club, Soray's Exploration Team, Edna's Tea Party, Claws meaning Clarth, Clarth's Spear Research Lab, Cress's Dojo, Carol's Research Team, Nato's Toast Lover Committee, and the Tomato Lovers Committee, and the list goes on. Can we see a list of when characters are exoflected? If they have a chance to, they'll release it. Generally, characters from the same titles are usually from similar things. However, there are moments that dramatically develop... Wait, hold on. There are moments where dramatic developments arise through coming from various different times, such as with Tales of Destiny's Leon. As well as, other stuff as well. There are different characters that are exoflected from different times, but for the most part, they're from the same time, for they're from the same title. Concept design for Spirit Gears. It'll be released on Twitter, but compiling it somewhere would be nice. No plans as of now. What about costume designs that haven't been released? They'll sort things out, release those on Twitter in due time. Others, I want to change the BGM. Will do, but needs time. So I assume that means, like, maybe you can set a specific BGM for, like, whenever you're doing any mission. But we'll see. No archives for producer layers, since these layers are closely related to stuff that are recent at the time of publish. It may get confusing when reading some of the older ones. As such, it would decide to keep past letters private. Okay. I can't win in Whis. Try your best. How about adding non-battle characters to Whis? Will do. Look forward to it. So they mean like characters, you know, like Claire, or like maybe you could get someone like Mew or Bienfu, stuff like that. Adding unused cut-ins from the original titles. It's difficult, as for older titles, the image resolution tends to be an issue, though one way to look at it, the producer feels that having it from the older titles will be good enough, despite the resolution mismatch. Will there be balance changes to event weapons prior to Alicia's release, as they seem to fall short with the 3-star plus Rarity Awakening in place? Good question. This will be considered when reviewing the UI system. Shared attachments, more attachment types would be difficult, as attachments are personalized for each character in terms of their placement, but they'll look into it. I think they mean like just an overall attachment. So like if there's, in normal Tales games, you can get an attachment that can go on any character, so I think they mean something like that. So if they released like a special Tales hat for Tales Festival, for example, like being able to put it on any character you want instead of just being specific character. Any plans of adapting this? Oh, wait. Making characters who can't fight in their original titles playable. They never really considered making characters who aren't meant to fight at all in their original titles playable. They're really only thinking of making characters who are able to fight, even if only a little playable. However, there is still the possibility that characters can join mini games such as Whis. So they're saying that if a character isn't physically able in their original title to fight, or they don't actually have the capacity to, they probably won't. So a character like Claire from Rebirth, you're not going to see fight. A character like Aster from Symphonia 2, you probably won't see fight, although he does have a gun in the manga. So they may dabble in something like that. But characters that are just side characters that don't fight, don't expect them to be playable. Any plans of adapting this to screenplay, concept book, manga, etc.? Nope, but who knows? We might pick it up. There's a huge demand. I want more anime shorts. Or even just do a full Raze movie at this point. And that's pretty much it for the questions. Real quick here, we will go over the schedule in detail. So here's for the Tales of Destiny Easter event, which will be first. While they did an April Fool's joke where they took the Raze UI and essentially made Tales of Versus 2, which was a fighting game. It was just for an April Fool's joke, but a lot of people are upset that it wasn't real. Kongman's participation was not, as he appeared in the previous arena event. I'm sure many have been expecting him, and coming with him is Mary. This will also be the first Easter-themed event for Raze. Look forward to the Easter costumes. So that'll be interesting to see, Easter costumes. Fairy's Requiem Chapter 14, Richter. The long-awaited Richter is finally joining. He's appeared as a boss several times now, and sometimes even as a punching bag for combo videos. so they know. But now he's no longer in that half-completed stage. Adjustments have been made to make him playable. Richter was also made playable during the fan meeting last May, but more so, wow, that's like a year ago. So they've already had him almost ready since last May, but they said, stuff has been added since then. Marta will also be receiving her Overray Mirage art, which I'm very excited about. And then lastly, Tales of Berseria raid event for Shigure. They've always wanted to do Roku over Shigure at some point since release, and it seems like it's finally time. Alongside with that, there will also be Magilu versus Melchior, as well as Eleanor versus Oscar and Teresa. So what they're saying there, Melchior and Oscar and Teresa are not actually going to be in this event, but their Mirage artwork are depicting those scenes. So like Magilu's scene is going to be when she's holding off Melchior while everyone is still stuck in the Earth Pulse trying to get out. And then Eleanor versus Oscar and Teresa, maybe when the whole... I guess that would be just when, we go to fight Oscar, when he learns to armatize, and then again when when Teresa shows up and gets all demonic and crazy. I guess interesting that they're not doing the Kamawana scene for Eleanor when we deal with that. Can't say if they'll be appearing. Okay, so they can't say if they're appearing in the event story. They might make an appearance, but who knows? And they may make an appearance in the future. So some of you may be wondering why Artorias isn't the one representing the first Berseria-only event. The producer believes that if Artorias were to join the story, it would have to be under an event type that's completely different from the usual raid or seasonal events. Releasing past boss characters is part of Race Charm, so please wait a little longer. Yeah, and it would also be weird to release Artorias without Velvet on getting something new. So I think they'll wait to do Artorias when Velvet's going to be ready for her overray. Whenever that's going to be. Also, some may be wondering about Moses as he shares the same VA as Shigure. As previously mentioned, all party members will be released as promised. It's just a matter of timing. Other producer would like to release more information regarding Arc 4 bit by bit in the future. Okay, so it's not coming anytime soon. Well, I wouldn't say anytime soon. I'd say by summer it'll definitely start. In regards to Unison Attack, as the beta previously released was a test run to get some feedback. They thank everyone for playing it. However, with this, they realize there are still a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. Its holding will be in about 1 or 2 months. Hopefully, they're done fixing and improving it. Okay, so within the next 2 months, we should see it become an actual recurring event and not a beta. But other than that, that's pretty much everything here. This went as long as my producer's letters usually go. But I think that's mainly because there were a lot of questions from the Q&A. This definitely wouldn't have been as long without that Q&A. But, yeah, so a lot of cool stuff here. A lot of stuff that's being considered for changing, kind of enhancing the gameplay experience, so to speak. And then we have all this stuff this month going on. So Tales of Destiny event should be starting in a week. And then in about 2.5 weeks, I would say. We got Richter's chapter, and then the following week will be the Shigure stuff. So very exciting stuff there. I'm still very iffy on what I want to summon on, because I really want Richter and Marta's stuff, but I also really want to summon for Rokuro. But I think I'm going to summon more for Richter, because I obviously don't have anything for Richter, and I only have 1 Mirror Jar for Marta, while as for the Berseria event, I have double Mirror Jars for Magilu and Eleanor, so there's not as much, unless I go deeper into the banner, there's not as much really good for me in that banner. So I think I'll have like 3 multis by the time Richter comes around, so I'll do 3 multis there, and then I'll probably do like my tower, what I get from the tower in the event, the raid event, I'll probably do like 2 multis on the Berseria event, and that'll be it, and save for whatever's going to be in the future. But let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, I will put the link to this down below if you want to read it yourself at your leisure. All very exciting stuff. The game is continuing to grow and expand. Very excited to see what they do in the future. We are getting towards the end of actual playable characters from each Tales game being in the game, so it'll be very interesting to see how they manage events when we have no more characters to add besides boss characters and side characters, but I guess we'll see. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.